them, because if it's not a good grade, you don't want it on your transcript. So, you know, a lot of students might choose to take it again. It's a great class. I've sat in on it a couple of times. Mr. Pope just speaks Spanish in the class, but the kids are answering, they're interacting. He's doing a great job.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so the parents would have to take, or the kid, the Spanish child, would have to take that and then present it to B&L for them to accept it, right? Okay, I got you.
So we reached out to B&L and Eastern Green, and you know they just check and make sure your teacher is licensed, and then you know that's really what they look for. Is the teacher licensed? So.
All right. Any further discussion on that topic? All right. All in favor of approving the current Spanish class to be included for credit, high school Spanish credit. I'm going to say it again. High school Spanish 1 credit. There we go. All in favor signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, so the next item within the business and operations section will focus on the school finance. The first item under this section will deal with the fact that the renewal policy is due for Guide 1. This is our liability insurance. The package and umbrella policies were recently provided a quote to us. In addition to adding our 250 or so Chromebooks to the policy, which added a little bit to the premium. So the auto and the work comp renewals have already been issued, and I'm going to run through this real quick. So essentially the overall cost increase from 24-25 to 25-26 school year is just under $4,000. Went from $40,832.52 to $44,742, or $742.48. So when I look at it, the package, the general package went up $3,000. The umbrella package went up about $1,257. The work comp actually decreased. I thought that was nice. A couple other notes that I'm going to mention here is the fact that the building limit, essentially the building value of the shell, went up from $11,916,000 to $12,869,000. Business personal property limit went from $897,100 to $1,031,644. Mentions the faculty volume increased from 40 to 48. Number of students went from 202 to 247. That's probably what we were estimating on originally. Like I said, we added 250 Chromebooks. So ultimately, would there be anything you would have to add to that? My ramblings there? That's good. That's good. So ultimately, I would entertain a motion to provide a discussion and decision on proposal to renew our liability insurance with Guide 1.
I move to approve the proposal to renew our liability insurance with Guide 1.
I'll second.
Second. All right. Any discussion on the topic? All right. All in favor of approving the proposal to renew the insurance with Guide 1? Signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, so this is the next item within the financials, within the business operations, and it's a topic talking about the school's ongoing service and supplies contract. We're operating here now, beginning our 4th year, and a lot of the contracts that we have in terms of supplies and some of our other operations and services have been provided by legacy contracts from the years that we started. And so we're hoping to move forward with looking with a committee, looking at our supplies and our services on a basis of maybe more of a competition and a length of service spelled out contractually in alignment with our procurement policy. So I think in the coming months we'll establish a committee to research and establish this process. So if there's any comments from the board or anybody from the staff that would like to comment further on that. So this is kind of just a general announcement. I don't think we need board action, just to talk about the fact that we will be moving forward to do little bit more of an investigation into the contractual services that we receive. Yep, okay. The next item within the business and operations section will focus on the curriculum and technology. I don't have anything lined out for this particular topic. Is there anybody that has anything to add for curriculum or technology?
No.
Okay. Then we'll move on to buildings and grounds. And so this is still within the business and operations section of the agenda. Anything for buildings and grounds? Any invoices or anything?
The SR Mechanical and Corson invoices.
I'm sorry, I kind of missed on that one, didn't I? Yes, we have two invoices. We have a $7,475.50 invoice for SR Mechanical, and Corson, who does our fire protection and some of our alarm systems, $8,183.58. So I would entertain a motion to provide any discussion or decision to the approval of the payment of these invoices.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
So, discussion, I guess ultimately, is there any discussion or details? You have some of these were I think the motor, in the kindergarten room and maybe some work at the kitchen, is that?
And then here, this motor in
area.
here went out.
Okay. And I think there was some alarms that were coming here and there on the fire panel as well, and Corson does their annual inspection, so. Any other
It's
discussion?
yeah.
Or move to approve? Okay. All in favor of paying the $7,475.50 bill to SR Mechanical and the $8,183.58 bill to Corson, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Now the next item within this section, within the would be the fact that there are a couple quotes. I mentioned the fire alarm, the fire panel. I think we got a couple of quotes. Do you want to address this? Would you be willing to kind of explain this situation a little bit more?
So Corson was called because they had an alarm on the fire panel, and they went and checked everything, and they said that the panel was fried. So we need to replace that in order to not have this alarm and to make sure it's working properly for when, we're ever in need of that. So they gave us a quote to do an installation, and it was about $3,000. And then they gave us another quote that was for installation and the panel. Then they gave us another quote for just installation and a different source to buy the panel, which is similar to the one that they would use with their recommendation. It would save us, if we went that route, buying the panel separately and then doing the installation, it would save us about $852. So we're recommending we go that route.
Panels are similar.
That's what I was told by the Corson.
Would they have any trouble working on that panel if, they suggested it by the tech, but would Corson have any trouble?
Not according to him. I believe he said that the one that we have currently, they no longer make.
Okay.
And so this is the next option.
Yeah, so the numbers are $3,059.28 to do it just through Corson, and the savings, $852.88, would require us to buy the panel separately for $1,122.45, and then they would charge us $1,083.95 to install it. So, yeah, I think it's kind of no-brainer. So yeah, I would entertain a motion I'd entertain a motion. Get crafty, Justin. Do what you
I
said.
move to approve the two quotes for replacement of the fire panel as presented.
I will second.
Okay.
To replace the panel, please.
Move to approve the quotes for replacement of the fire alarm panel as presented. Same language on the tail end of that as written.
The less expensive.
And we have a first and a second.
And I'll second.
So in the discussion, I just want to clarify that it's the total of $2,206.40.
Yeah, that's how it was presented in the,
Option two.
Option two.
but we weren't given an option in the, what was presented really. We're just presented with these two quotes that are the lower number.
All right, all in favor of the motion as presented, say aye. Signify by
Aye.
stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. In the next section on the agenda, we'll deal with transportation within the business and operations section. Are there any items to discuss on transportation? Nothing? And I suppose before we move on to the administrator report out, are there any other items that we need to cover this evening before we move to the close? All right. Ms. Davis, do you have anything to add?
I don't. I just want to wish Albert well. Hopefully he gets well soon.
I agree. And joining us also is Dr. Smith from USI. Do you have anything that you'd like to add?
Thank you, Mr. Osborne. Just a few points. Number one, USI is in the process, final phases of selecting from 3 candidates for their VP of Finance, which replaces Mr. Steve Bridges, who became the president. Mr. Bridges will actually be formally inducted, if you will, as president on October 16th this year. Mr. Bridges has spent his entire 30-plus year career at USI, graduated from there, and has grown up in many different areas. So very popular selection when he was selected as the next president when Dr. Bashan went west. Secondly, I want to thank Ms. Davis, Ms. Dietrich, Mr. Osmond, the board for the July 31 deliverables of all the 15, 16 line items per the authorizer charter, if you will. Everything looks well and in order, so I appreciate the due diligence in getting that together. Ms. Davis, if you need anything from me or the university for USI Day, just let me know. In that piece, I'd be more than happy to support and help. And just great job to the board. Great to see such a unified group and team together working for the focus of the children through this wonderful school and staff and leadership. So kudos to everybody that serves.
Are there any comments from the public? No public comment? All right. Any further comments from the board before I mention a couple dates of interest and we'll move to adjourn? So it looks like 27th of August is an early dismissal day. September 1st is Labor Day coming up real soon, 3-day weekend. 18th is September 18th, school board meeting. Sorry, that's the next one that we will have here. Book fair 22nd through the 26th, and our fall break is 13th through the 17th this year of October, so fantastic. Moving right along. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would make a motion.
I will second.
Do we need a I don't even know if we need a second to adjourn around here. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.